Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It is Sunday, which means it is prep day, and I am actually off to a very late start today. I had quite a bit more work on my home job than I thought I did today, so it's already after 3 o'clock, probably just about 3:30. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to get to my dinner prep today, which you guys know that's why I usually leave that last. That way if I don't get time to it, then it's not a big deal. At least I have my breakfast and lunches prep. So I'm just going to see how I do with time and see how it goes. So if you are new to my channel, I hope that you'll consider hitting that subscribe button and make sure you click the notification bell so you're notified anytime that I upload new content. And welcome, my name is Christy and I am Planning Us Healthy. Okay guys, so today on the menu this week for my breakfast prep, I am planning on doing a pancake bake, and then for my lunch prep, I'm doing a taco casserole, and then of course I'll have my snacks, and then I'll see if I can get to the dinners. For the dinners this week, I think I have 4 of them that I was going to prep, so even if I only get to a couple of them, that'll be fine. So we will just have to see how we do, so let's get started. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is the pancake bake. I have down in my menu that I'm going to be having eggs with it, but I'm not really sure yet if I'm going to be doing that. So for the pancake bake, I'm going to be using 2 cups of Kodiak cakes. I've not made this before, so I don't know what it's going to taste like. We're going to find out. And I will try and let you know like later on in the week, or sometimes I'll put modifications in the description box. I always put all my recipes that you see in the description box of all of my videos. So 2 cups of the Kodiak cakes, and then I'm going to use 1.5 cups of unsweetened almond milk. I'm going to pour that in. I'm going to just put 1 egg. And then I'm going to put a splash of vanilla in there, probably about a teaspoon. I'm not really going to measure that out. And I'm going to sprinkle some cinnamon in there. And then I'm also going to use 2 very ripe bananas. And we're just going to mash those real good. And then go ahead and add that into the mix. Alright, then we're just going to go ahead and mix that all together. Alright, and then I'm going to fold in about 1/2 cup of berries. And I'm going to be using blueberries for mine. You can also put in bananas, any kind of fruit you want. Alright, then we're going to go ahead. I am going to use a 13 by 9 inch pan since I've got 2 cups of the pancakes in there. So go ahead and get your pan sprayed real good. And after spraying the pan, I'm going to go ahead and add the mix. And I think I'm going to add just a few more blueberries. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle it with a little bit of cinnamon. And then I'm going to bake this in the oven at 350 for, I'm going to do 20 minutes and then take a look at it and see what it looks like after that. Okay, so while the pancake bake is baking, we're going to go ahead and start on our lunch, which is a taco casserole. I will tell you, I do have a cook with me out there. It's actually one of my very first videos, which those are rather embarrassing, but it is what it is. I'm keeping them out there. That one is actually higher points. It's 10 points per serving, but I put a note in there that it was way too much rice. I used 2 cups of rice. I lowered it down. I'm lowering it down to just 1 cup of rice, and I'm just using white rice. So that's going to lower the points. I'm also lowering the cheese. In the recipe, I use 2 cups of cheese, and I'm going to use 1 3/4 cups of Velveeta shreds. That's going to lower the points. And then I'm using ground turkey breast, and I also added a zucchini in this one. So that's the differences between the one that I have out there. So for this one, I'm not going to show me cooking the ingredients because I have that cook with me out there. Besides, the only thing that I really cook on the stove is the onion and the zucchini and the turkey. So for this recipe, you will need a half a zucchini, a half of an onion, a can of corn, a can of black beans, a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies, or you can use Rotel. This is actually the Aldi brand of Rotel. And then 1 pound of ground turkey breast. So if you're using regular turkey breast and, if you're using ground turkey and not ground turkey breast, then the points are going to be a little bit higher. So you'll have to make sure to put any adjustments into your app. You're also going to need a half a packet of taco seasoning. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cook the onions and the zucchini. I've already cooked the ground turkey, and then I'm just going to mix them up on the stove and add my half a packet of seasoning mix. And then I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so I have cooked my turkey. I have everything cooked. My ground turkey breast, my half a zucchini, and half an onion in this. And then I put half a packet of taco seasoning in there. So I cooked that all up. And then I cooked my 1 cup of rice, which is actually 2 cups of cooked rice. So I'm going to go ahead, I have a sprayed casserole dish, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the rice in the bottom of that. So like I said, depending on how much rice you like, the cook with me that I have out there has actually double this amount of rice in it, and we just thought it was way too much rice. Alright, and then in the, I went ahead and rinsed out the corn and black beans, and I'm going to go ahead and add those to the turkey, and also the can of Rotel. And you don't have to drain that one. And then just mix it all up. And we're going to be baking this, so we don't have to cook that. Alright, then once you have that all mixed up, you're just going to pour it over the rice. We're going to top it with the 1 3/4 cup of Velveeta shreds. And then I'm going to put this in the oven for about 30 minutes. I may pull it out at 20 minutes because we're going to be heating this for lunch. So that's going to cook it a little bit more. So I'm going to take a look at it after 20 minutes and I'll see what it looks like. Alright guys, so I have the pancake bake going still. I checked on it after 20 minutes and it still wasn't done. After 25, it was still not quite the way I'd like it. So I'm going to go ahead and cook it for a full 30 minutes. In the meantime, I am taking these little containers that I have and measuring out. I'm going to do 1/8 of a cup of syrup each day. So I'm going to need 3 days worth in each one because one will be for my husband's and one will be for mine. So we're just going to have to eyeball it. Well, I have a scale at work so I can easily weigh out each portion. But the bottom line is, even if one day I have a little bit more and the next day I have less, over the 3 days, it's still just those 3 servings. So when you do it this way over 3 days that are in the same weigh week, then it's okay because it all evens out. So 90 milliliters is, actually it's not even a serving. A serving of this is 1/4 of a cup, and I'm just using 1/8 of a cup because 1/8 of a cup is 0 points. And I did plug my bake into the Pancake bake into the Weight Watchers app, and it comes out to 3 points per serving. So I'm going to go ahead and add some eggs with it. So there is our syrup. Okay guys, so here is what my pancake bake looks like. So each one of those pieces, I know they're pretty big and I made eggs too. Each one of those pieces they're not really thick, so we'll see what they look like in the dish. So each one of those is going to be 3 points. And then I have 600 grams of scrambled eggs because I'm making 6 portions. I only do 3 days worth of prep for breakfast and lunch because I don't like to go beyond 4 days, and sometimes we end up not eating something one of the days, so that's why I just make 3. And then for the lunch, this is the lunch, and I'll be doing the same thing with this, and I'm going to be cutting it into 6, portioning it into 6, and each piece is going to be 4 points. So I'm going to let these cool a little bit and I'll get started with the dinners because this took me less than an hour to do these. So I have plenty of time for dinners. Okay guys, so I am on to the dinners while the breakfast and lunch cools. So if you are new to my channel, I prep my dinners in bags. I just portion everything out. I don't wash them or anything like that. Sometimes I cut some of the vegetables, but it just depends what it is and how much time it'll actually save the night that I do it. So I have all my bags labeled, and the only thing I label them with is the name of the meal and how many points it is. So for Monday night, I usually have salmon. This week I'm doing brown sugar salmon, which is 2 points, and then rice and broccoli. For the rice, I just use the ready rice usually. It's just the 90-second microwave rice, so I don't put that in the bag. I leave that in the pantry. But the broccoli, I just go ahead and cut up. Just cut the fresh broccoli into pieces. Cut the stalk off and just throw them in the bag. I have my salmon. I'm actually doing a cedar block salmon, and it comes this way. It already comes on it, so I don't have to soak that night. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I'll throw my broccoli in there, and then I'll just clean everything, wash everything the night that we have it. I actually have some asparagus left from last week that I want to use up. It's still good, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut that, put that in there. It's only a couple pieces. I got a mess here. Hang on, let me get a little bit more organized here. Everybody tells me I'm so organized, but I'm really not. For this recipe, the only thing that's going to go on the salmon is a 1/2 ounce of brown sugar. So I have that in a snack bag. Just stick that in there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut up the rest of my broccoli and put that in there. That is our first night for our salmon and broccoli. And yes, this is quite a bit of broccoli, but I will cook it all up and it will get eaten because if we don't eat it, our dogs absolutely love broccoli. So I'll get this put away and go on to the next one. Okay guys, so the next dinner I'm going to be doing is pork tenderloin marsala with carrots and Brussels sprouts. And for this one, all I'm going to do, I have the ends cut off my carrots, so I'm just going to go ahead and put those in the bag. And then the recipe calls for 4 ounces of mushrooms, but I really like mushrooms, and since they're 0, I'm going to go ahead and use 8 ounces, so I'm just going to put that whole thing in there. And then the next thing I have is 3 ounces of Marsala wine. And then the recipe calls for chicken demi-glaze, which I don't have, so I'm probably just going to throw a little bit of chicken stock in there the night that I cook it. Again, the purpose of this is not to do a cook with me for everybody. It's just to show you how I prep my meals for the week. So I will go ahead and put the actual recipes down in the description box though. And then I have 10 ounces of pork tenderloin that I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Actually, let's do it this way. Just make sure that wine is closed tight. And then there's that one. For our next dinner, I'm doing blue cheese crusted chicken with buffalo sauce and ranch green beans. This one's going to be 9 points. So I'm just putting my green beans in there. Now, normally to prep the green beans, I would cut the ends off, but because I'm a little bit strapped for time today, I'm not going to do that part tonight. I'm going to go ahead and just do it Wednesday. I'm actually making a whole double batch of this. My son and daughter-in-law are in Daytona Beach this weekend for their anniversary. And they're going to be back Wednesday, and we have their 2 dogs, so we have 4 dogs in the house right now. And I will probably tomorrow, I'm going to try and get film all 4 of them, because a lot of you have been asking to see the dogs. So I thought, why not show all 4 of them that we have? And so they're going to be back Wednesday, so I'm not sure what time they're coming, so I'm going to make a double batch. That way I can send them home with a plate, or they can eat here for dinner, and they won't have to worry about cooking the night that they get back. So I have my green beans in the bottom of the bag, and then I have 2 ounces of blue cheese. I have 4 pieces of chicken breast, and it's probably about 6 ounces each. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I have 1 teaspoon of the ranch dressing mix. I have 2 ounces of French fried onions. And then 6 teaspoons of Frank's Red Hot Sauce. And then the only other thing it calls for is 2 ounces of butter, which I'll use light butter, but I'm not going to put that in here because it just melts in the bag and makes a mess. So that's all I'm going to be putting in for that one. And now we have 1 more to do. Okay, for the final one, I really wasn't thinking this week when I planned my prep, because the taco casserole and the turkey burrito skillet might be a little bit similar. Not really, because there's no rice and stuff, but normally I wouldn't have 2 things that are so much alike. But, oh well, it is what it is. Now, I'm going to be doing the turkey burrito skillet on Thursday night. That way I'm not having it on a night that we do our lunches, that I do the taco casserole for lunch. For this one I need a zucchini. I actually have 2 small zucchinis, so I'm just going to go ahead and use both of those. I need a Roma tomato. I need a bell pepper. It actually calls for red bell pepper, but I still had 2 yellow peppers left, and if I don't use them, they're just going to go to waste. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then 2 green onions. Again, I had 3 left, so I'm going to go ahead and use all 3. I need 12 ounces of turkey breast, ground turkey breast. So I'm going to put that in there. And then a half a packet of taco seasoning. So I'm just using the rest of the taco seasoning that I used from the lunch. And then 6 ounces of red enchilada sauce. 1 ounce of cheese, 1 ounce of tortilla strips, and then I need 2 ounces of sour cream. So there is that dinner. So now we're done with the dinners. That was pretty quick tonight. So now we're going to go ahead and portion the lunch and breakfast into our containers. Okay, so our breakfasts are cooled down, and I am going ahead and portioning out. What I am doing is, it comes out to a pretty good piece. I couldn't actually fit the whole piece into the container, so I just cut it in 2. So I have the pancake bake, and then I have 100 grams of eggs and 7 cherries. So that's going to be our breakfast, and it is going to be a 3-point breakfast. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish portioning these out. This one has a piece missing because my husband wanted to try them, and he said they're very good. So that's a plus. And then I'm going to weigh out my eggs. And then after I'm done with this, I will portion out the lunches and show you what we have there. Okay, so I have our breakfast together. And I have our syrup. I still need to portion my 2 bags of cereal and my almond milk, so I will do that in a minute. I want to go ahead and get the lunches together so that I can get these in the fridge while I finish up everything. Then I'll pull them back out to show you the whole spread when we're done. Okay, so for our casserole, comes out to a pretty good portion. And this is going to be a 4-point lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of the frozen California medley. I've always used fresh vegetables and then I cook them and put them in there. But I saw Amanda Seiper uses the frozen vegetables and she just puts them in there in her prep. And then she just cooks them, microwaving them. So that makes total sense. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to put a little bit in each dish. I use 1 bag for each person. Because again, my preps are for 2 people, for my husband and I. And this one's missing a little piece because my husband wanted to taste test this one as well. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount. Alright, so there is 3 of them. Alright, then I'm just going to go ahead and put some salt and pepper on them. And then what I'll do is the morning that we take them to work, I actually have spray butter at work, so I can spray my vegetables. I take all my meals, all my breakfasts, and all my lunches to work on Mondays. So I keep all mine. We have a big fridge in our office, but my husband can just take one at a time. So for his, I will just take them out each day and put some spray butter on them. Okay, so there's our lunches. The other lunches that I'll do during the week will be just turkey and cheese wraps. It's basically an Olay Wellness Extreme wrap. I use turkey and Laughing Cow cheese. Those are 2-point wraps, but I don't prep those now because I have those usually Thursday and Friday. Actually, Friday I'm going to lunch with my husband, so I'll just be doing that Thursday. So I'll wait until Wednesday night to prep that one. So let me go ahead and get the tops on these and get these put away for now. And then I'm going to move on to my other 2 breakfasts and then our snacks. Okay, so now I am just getting my snacks together. I always have pretzels and cheese. So I put a cheese wedge in a bag. And I usually just do up like 4 of these. I usually have this for a snack at night. Or sometimes when I get home from work, if I'm really hungry. then I'll go ahead and do it. So then 28 grams of pretzels in each one. And that's it for those. And I'll do 3 more, but I'll do it off camera. And then for my cereal, I use Fiber One original cereal. This is 2 points for 30 grams. So I'm just going to measure out or weigh out my cereal bag. And then I use a half a cup of vanilla almond milk. And it comes out to 120 milliliters, which usually fills this thing right to the top. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is cut up my cantaloupe, and I'll put our, I have cantaloupe and blackberries this week. I'll put those in our bowls. And then I will put everything out and show you what we ended up with this week. All right, guys, I am really looking forward to this week. This looks so good. So let's start with the snacks. I have some cantaloupe and blackberries. We have 3-point Greek yogurt. We have 2-point sugar-free chocolate pudding. I have my 4-point little packets here with pretzels and Laughing Cow cheese. It's actually the Aldi version of the Laughing Cow. For my breakfast, I have my Fiber One cereal that I will have Thursday and Friday. That's 2 points for 30 grams, and then my almond milk for 0, and then I'll cut up bananas in it. For breakfast, we have our cherries, pancake bake, and eggs. That is 3 points for each one. And then I have the syrup, which we're just going to do 1/8 of a cup each morning. So this is actually for all 3 mornings. So 1/8 of a cup is 0 points. And then that's 3 for me, 3 for my husband. And then for lunches, 3 for me, 3 for my husband, will be the taco casserole and the vegetables. And this is going to be a 4-point lunch. And then for our dinners, again, the brown sugar salmon, the pork tenderloin marsala, the turkey burrito skillet, and the blue cheese crusted chicken. Okay guys, so that's it for the prep for this week. I am pooped with my work that I had to do this morning for my home job, plus this. I'm just a little bit tired tonight. So I am going to go relax with my husband and enjoy the rest of the night before I head out to work in the morning. So I hope that you all have an amazing week. I'm going to try and do a video to show my pets sometime this week. I'm not sure when. So a lot of you have been requesting to see my pets. And we have 2 dogs and a bird. And of course my son and daughter-in-law's dogs are with us too for a few days. So I figured why not show the whole bunch. So I hope everybody has an amazing week. Again, if you're new, I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you like this type of video, give it a thumbs up so that I know that you like this, and put any comments down below. Let me know if you are starting to do any meal prep because of watching this. Again, you don't have to start like this, but just start with little pieces at a time. So I hope that this inspires you a little bit. I hope that it motivates you a little bit to meal plan and stay on track. I will talk to you all in my next video. Have an amazing week. I'm Christy, and I'm planning us healthy.